Hello. Ready? Lights, camera, action. Hello. Welcome back. Bass and Bonsai finally made it to the BFS box, right? BFS hard baits mainly. We got some soft baits, but just thinking of that, let's just dig these out. I'm not dumping all these out. There's a ton of little ones, these little jelly beans. I'll be here all day. But I'm going to sort through a couple individual ones. And wow, I may have to wipe that out. So give me a minute. Let me get these few things out of here. Let's set them right here. Let me set that down. That is yucky. Remember this little dude? I've yet to actually catch a fish on that little dude. I got a package of them somewhere. So these are our, I do have a few spinner baits in here. My plan was, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet, was to take some spinner baits and use them. And I actually thought of this before I even saw it, but I've seen they now have a, like some genius decided to make what they call, there's the underspin and then they got like an overspin, which is basically just a spinner bait style deal. So I was going to put like little swim baits on these without skirts and try them, and I really just haven't gotten to that point yet. So, give me 1 minute here. That's just a regular old crappie jig. And as you guys can see, they just pop up everywhere. Crappie jigs just kind of find their way all over your tackle box. Let me get this wiped out. Well, let me get it emptied out first. That little jig too. Those little ones find their way all over. So let me wipe this gunk out of this area. And you get soft plastics, they just create like a gunk, right? They just create like a gunky mess. Those little worms that came in a package, they find their way everywhere too. I think they've multiplied. But they're getting thrown away. So I'm going to put those back in, but before we even go that far, let's get out what we're going to get rid of out of this box. If you guys aren't familiar with what I use here, I'll just show you real quick. We've got the little jelly beans, which those are the 16th ounce, the smallest basically thing that I throw other than say a 16th ounce crappie jig, which technically usually weighs a little more than these. We've got our mini Whopper Ploppers and a few of our just like a little miniature stick bait type things, right? Keeping all those, only have so many. Bought those not too long ago. We have our little bitty Sonora poppers. And actually, you know what? I think there's a few in here I want to get rid of. Not the Sonora ones. And I'll kind of take count on how many do I actually have. Because Jay was saying that they can't get these anymore. Do I recommend any others? As far as I know, though, those are the only ones, little guys you can get with the tail feathers. And there is a link to find those. A little bit of gunk in there too. So if you guys remember right, a while back I did a little test, and these real little Niobe ones, they do work too. And I probably need to keep those, just, I don't know why, maybe at the little creeks they'll have better luck. They got that one single treble at the back, and you guys technically could probably put a single hook on them and fish them. But then there's these dudes that aren't horrible, I guess, the Banshees, and I have used them and caught fish, but they're going bye-bye. I'm sticking with the little Niobe just because they're smaller. So I'm going to keep a few of those along with there's another Niobe one there. I think I got like 3 of those. And then 1, 2, how many did I put in there? So yeah, 3 of the little bitty ones, they're like actually 2.5 or 3. They're small. These are, I think these are 3 grams. Those are like 1.5 or 2 grams. They're like 16th ounce. So there's one I dropped in the box. It's like a trout color. And I got one that's a little bit brighter. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 2 like silver ones, a gold one, and then a fire tiger. I need to order another 1 or 2 of those probably while I still can, because I can find these, but not I can find the bait with different hooks and not tail feathers. But I probably need to order a couple in that color and just have them, and then I can always switch if I lose this one. But that's staying. So we only got rid of one bait there. That wasn't a huge improvement, right? And we got, that is a Pop Max, or Pop Max. That is the baby Pop X. And you can see the size reference, that how much bigger, even though that's Megabass's smallest popper, you can see just how much bigger a bait it is than this. Still an excellent bait, but I feel that those little sonores are just a touch, I guess, I don't know if I'd say better, but I like them better just because they're a little smaller. But that's still an awesome bait. I only have one, and they're like 20 bucks. So for $3.50, I won't be buying any more of these for sure. Pop X, maybe. Baby Pop X, no. I like the snores at least as well or better. But the Pop Max and the Pop X, yes, those are awesome baits. This here is just a little mixture of baits that they're still enough and just a little different. And if you remember right, I was about ready to read that one out, and then I just went on. It was catching bass every time I cast it out. So I'm keeping that bait too. And that is a Berkeley. That is a Bagley balsa bait. It's an awesome little bait. Works good. Here's the one. Here's the problem child. Maybe a few in here. Definitely here and here. This one's the main problem child of I just went too crazy, have too many baits in here for sure. So let me just start by getting all of them out, and we're only going to put back in that hole what we want. So this is the home of Dr. Frankenstein and all his little friends, and then a few other baits. I've just kind of weeded them, put them all in there. I'm going to weed some out. I bought these came in like a 6-pack or something. I thought I'd like these. I thought they'd be a deeper diving square bill. They just don't translate. You got to like the work to get them to run true, and then how long they stay true after you catch a fish or two, in my opinion. And I didn't use them long, but I'm just, they look kind of cheaply painted. They just don't do what I feel the Doctor does anyway. So I'm going to definitely, I'm not keeping them. I did, however, find these that I think they're a little bit bigger, but they're still a small enough bait and a kind of a square bill deal. Charles come across these somewhere, and I just bought one to try. So, oh my goodness. So I'm going to keep that, dude. So basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of switching out. I'm going away from those other ones that I got to try, which is this. Oh my goodness. This is going to be forever. I probably should do this off camera, but you guys want live videos? We got some live videos, and sit and watch me tangle. That's why I try to use when I can the rubber band deal. Some of these have rubber bands and some don't, and they are just stuck together. What is holding that? So yeah, I thought I would like these, and they are a little smaller, but I think, and you can catch a very little bass with these. And these tend to run a little more, they're still kind of an issue. The minute you try to get something going deeper that is a very little bait, it's just hard. It's like it can be an issue. It's kind of like putting that paper thin tire on a car and trying to get it to ride smooth. Good luck. But so I'm weeding those out, and we'll try that guy out and maybe keep him, maybe send him. So now let's sort through and make sure I've got all the right colors of the Dr. Frankensteins that I want, and keeping them. So we actually have 4 different style of baits in this one little area. We got the Doctors, and I might need to sort them out when I find time or room to get that done, but for now we're not doing that. And these baits are all jacked up. There's the original Doctor. I think that's the very first one I bought. I've put red hooks on him since then. And I'm not even going to sort that out, but I am keeping those. That's the Doctor and the 2 Charlie Brown baits, and you see how they come. You can't really guess the color. I do like those. They're hunting machines. I'll sort through that stuff later. Let me try to get these baits back in here. There's another Doctor. That's the one that is a kind of natural color. Charles got quite a few of those. He found them somewhere. They're the Dr. Frankenstein, but with the natural, like, lifelike deal. And then these are the Charlie Brown baits in a different color, but look what they did to me. See how this one? it's got the pattern. It's got the fleck all the way around it. Look what they did. They did me dirty on this one. This one has it over here. Then it's like all black. It's like they forgot to paint that side. So I don't know about that one. This one I feel should do very good also. And then the reddish one. So we've got the Dr. Frankenstein, the Charlie Brown baits, and then I've got a couple of these. In my initial, the first one I bought, and it's kind of a way to try to get deeper down with little bitty baits. Not necessarily square bill. This is a square bill. So I'm hoping I really like these, and I may end up weeding out these at some point. But I bought these to try. Not a real fan of real shiny hooks, and that's kind of what these are. But I'm just trying to fish them first, and then if I don't like the hookup ratio with the hooks, I'll switch out the hooks. But these are definitely the Kingdom. These are a little deeper diving baits. So be looking forward to the ones under those are tried and true. We've fished them enough. Those work good. These are still kind of up in the air, but I've got them all stuffed in there. So we've weeded out a few baits. Didn't make much room. Then these are those little jerk baits. I bought a whole bunch. These were cheap. I went nuts. I bought a whole bunch. I've already weeded some out, and we're going to weed out some more right now, because I just do not want this mess in this box. So these little guys are real cheap, and they're either the cream or whatever. You can get these at Bass Pro Shops. I like those little baits. They work at the little creeks and streams. They look cheap. They are cheap, and they just work, though. Got a couple in that color. Fire Tiger color. And then these, those and those, I'm kind of up in there on these. I think these are way too little. I'm not saying they won't work. Oh boy, I'm gonna go mixing up stuff. I do like this style. Hang on, let me get some of these separated. So we have several different styles we're working with, dealing with. So these littlest guys, I do not like those. I like this style here. These are my favorites right here, getting ready to get out here, hopefully. So I'm keeping that. Hopefully you make out that one. That style is a little different. I like those. I like that. This is probably my favorite bait of the bunch. That guy right there flat out catches fish. I'm going to keep that one. I like that style. Don't like that dude. He's going bye-bye. I kind of like that style. I don't know if I like that color. Got a crazy, kind of like a Toledo gold, like I like my Booyah Hard Knocker color. I guess I'll keep those. And a Fire Tiger. I'll keep that style. Let me see. I gotta thin these down because I hardly ever throw these. So we have here, these are the same style, and something about these baits I'm not a real fan of, or these littlest ones. See those? Those real little and these little short, fat, stubby ones. You know what? We're just gonna weed them all out. I hardly throw these. Kind of like a jerk bait. There's a certain times like a jerk bait really works in the season. It's not like an all year round kind of deal for me. So I feel I got enough with those. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to actually move this guy. This is like the Vision 110 Junior size. That is a knockoff basically. But awesome little jerk bait. I'm going to stick him in there. There's another one of those guys thrown over here. So let's just take a look at those. I think I'm going to leave these alone. These are two different sizes. They're the 4 grams and then like the 2 gram little square bills. I love the 4 grams. They seem to work okay. I'm going to this one right here. I've already got rid of some of these. That color, I like a white, maybe with the chartreuse, but that white and that funky yellow color, like you guys, if you watched all these videos, that Whopper Plopper I took out, once it gets to that color, I don't like that color. So that one's going bye-bye. So we're keeping all those. I'm going to try to show you one of these little baits. These little baits I'm still up in the air on. Just since they don't take up much room, I'm going to leave them and try them a little bit more once I get to little creeks and streams. For ponds and pits, I do not like that bait. I'll be honest. I like that next size bigger. Then we've got the biggest size in what not the biggest square bill they make. It's the biggest like BFS that I use. Then I consider the others like regular square bills that you can throw with BFS gear. Like these are a little smaller, I believe anyway, than like the 1.0. As you'll see when I get to my next box, which is my square bill box. But I keep these with the BFS stuff just because they're that small. And I'm sure you guys all know the deal with the Proberos. Now there are a few others in with the Proberos. And I'm thinking I should maybe just take these out of the Proberos box. Let's do that. Let's make a little call and switch them out. So these are all Proberos or Proberos style right here. All those. Oh yeah, let me show you real quick. I know, real quick and my videos don't go together, right? It's kind of like Power BFS, right? I finally did, after talking about it forever, and I need to just hurry up and buy another one of these and scrape it down. I scraped a little more orange off, just have a little bit up front. But that is an awesome little bait. I like that color, this color, and then that color. Those three colors seem to be what really works a lot with those. So we have these little Bagley baits. Now I don't think they're balsa. I know they're not balsa, they rattle. But these little, they got the name on them somewhere. Are these Rebel? Are they called the Bagley? I don't know. Whatever that says. But these little baits, just flat out, are awesome little square bills that work. But we're going to put them with those guys. And I keep them over here instead of with my regular square bills just because how small they are. Then lastly, so you see I'm going to have some room once I get these over here sorted out. I have an awesome bait that I keep with the BFS stuff because when you get them this small, not really that one, but for sure this little dude right here, these little scatter wraps, man, these are awesome little baits at times. They work real good. And then these are the Bass Pro XPS or whatever, little bitty cranks. Those are awesome little cranks too. They work very good. You can get those at Bass Pro Shops, and these at Bass Pro Shops or Tackle Warehouse, whatever. These are Bass Pro Shops house brand. Awesome little baits. Keep those there. So we went through everything, right? Didn't really take out a lot, but we did improve somewhat. So over here, I'm just going to keep, let's go back down here. I'm going to try to sort out and just put my, these are home of the, I lost a blade off that. I bet it's right there. And that brings me to my next deal I was going to talk about once I get these going. For whatever reason, I guess because they're so small, I'm finding that I like them because they're so small. They're even smaller than the micro, the Z-Man micro chatterbaits. But the flashback minnows, they work, but sometimes this blade will get caught. Like you'll cast it and it just will not start up. And it's kind of because they didn't press that in right. That's a perfect example. But this is home to those. So, what's that wobblehead doing in there? He's got to go to a different home. So you'll see me trying a bunch of different things on some of these little flashbacks. And that's the home form. Let me weed out some of these other baits. And yeah, I keep a few little other things in there with this little side. Let me find a, that's the micro. And maybe I'll keep it out just for a second to show you. I keep the micros with the regular chatterbaits and these flashbacks over here. Drop shot setup through a snap. Well, I don't use a drop shot, but I actually had a thing rigged up. I basically make a drop shot type deal to where I can snap on to right at the top of the hook, above the hook. But I don't think I have any more of those. And honestly, I've went away. I call it the double shot now. So anyway, let me go back to this real quick. Hang on, let me find, there's another one. I was trying to find one with the original tail. Maybe they're all off. I'll just have to show you the tail they come with. But yeah, the flashbacks come with tails like this, and I think even a different tail. But they come with these little, and they're not Elastec for whatever reason. Probably because the Elastec would rust those even more. But the flashbacks you can get, I think, down to a 16th up to an 8th, something like that. And I suggest getting some of those, even though they're not quite the quality. And yeah, I was trying a, that's the littlest you can get. See that little bitty dude? That is a trout magnet body. So that shows you how small that little head is that you can get in that little flashback. So awesome little creek and stream baits. Now I'm just going to hurry up and get some of these things thrown in here. And then you can also buy, and I just throw these little bitty underspins, a few of them in here with these. Bass Pro Shop sells these. You can only get white, and I just paint the heads black with the Sharpie, and that one definitely needs repainted. But you can throw different things on them, and they work pretty good too. There's one that needs painted too. Then I haven't really translated yet to getting these. Haven't tried them too much. Those real little bitty underspins with the little Charlie Brewer crappie sliders, I think is what those are. But yeah, that's where my flashback minnows and some of my little swim bait underspin type things, I just keep them in there. Still have several of the flashback baits. I just keep them in anything that's not Elastec. I will throw in here. Sometimes you'll see me rigging a crawdad on them, since it's a chatterbait basically. I may rig something like this little, cut it down a little bit, that kind of thing. So just for now, and I'm probably not done, I'm going to keep this stuff out that I definitely don't want in there. I don't know how it got in there out. But then these little swim baits, these are the Meredith off AliExpress. I like some of their little baits. And I need to get with Big A's and have him get me some baits that are roughly this size. As you can see, when you're getting the flashback stuff, they come from the 6th to the 8th. They will have different size soft plastics that come with them too. So yeah, let me throw. Yeah, I was trying that little bitty trout magnet on that little bitty dude. Some of this is still experimental stuff. I got the that's a Big A's bait on just a red Ned head. I'm gonna keep it out. I just tossed it there because that day it was only one. These worms are going in the trash. That little dude's like see-through. Probably never use it, but I'll throw it over there for now. Trash, lost a tail. So yeah, right back where we started. We did some of the stuff out. These are awesome little baits. Now keep these in the, they're in that soft bait or BFS soft baits or crappie box. Those are good. That one somehow ended up in there. We're going to leave him there. That is too big for any of those, so I'm going to leave him out. And yeah, that's just a regular crappie deal. But you can actually put those on. Probably you can do a lot of different things. I'll have to dig in there now to get to the flashback minnows heads, but there we go. So let me get out of here. Keep this very short and sweet. Now, Jay, if you're just now jumping in here, stay tuned because I'm doing it next and I'm going to jump right to it. So let me end this. Brew Tank Outdoors. He keeps talking about that subscriber giveaway. Well, so far, no, we're not having a subscriber giveaway. But look at all that. That's just what I've gotten out of today. I don't even know what that weighs, but that thing is, I'm guessing, I don't even know. I could get my funky scale, but it would be wrong. Yeah, Brew's trying for you guys, but no, I'm not doing subscriber giveaways. So we're done with that box, and Jay wants to see which is very next in the lineup. My square bill box is next, so stay tuned. I promise I'll be right back real